Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. This is the best time. This is the best feeling when the international break is done. But not only that, it's the dead internationals. No one cares about the Nations League. We had September, October, now November, and finally we have got that Christmas feeling again. We've seen the mistletoe, the Christmas trees, the decorations, and finally football is here to stay. On a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have got football feasting now until the new year. I'm absolutely buzzing about it. As well as that, I think Black Friday's coming up soon, which is apparently where there's loads of discounts online. But if you guys are looking to get yourself anything from the Chelsea Megastore for Christmas, for yourself, for your parents, for your grandparents, for your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it may be, I've got a discount code for you. GBFC10. Click on the QR code here, use the code GBFC10 at checkout, or there's a link in the description, and you guys will get yourself a discount. So, Chelsea versus Leicester is the first game back after these November internationals. Enzo Maresca going back to his old club. He won the championship with them last year. They've got promoted. And since then, we're starting to see some comments. Leicester weren't happy that Enzo Maresca went to Chelsea. He told Leicester City that it was pointless going on a tour of America, only to then join Chelsea and go and manage them on the tour. Now, I'm going to say this straight up. I feel as though there is a bit of bitterness here. Leicester City, you did win yourselves a Premier League in the most rogue fashion possible. You guys are amazing. Claudio Ranieri delivered you the goods. Bought the trophy to Leicester. Insane. Since then, obviously, it's going to be very difficult for them to maintain those standards. They got relegated, they won the championship, they had the best squad, they had the best players, the highest wages. Now they're back in the Premier League and they're struggling. Although I will say this, apart from getting battered twice by Manchester United, which if you get battered by them before Ruben Amorim comes, you're not the best team in the league. We know that. But Leicester here, I feel as though when you look at Chelsea, this is going to be their match that they treat like a cup final. We took their manager. We won the Premier League after they did. They're going to look at this and be like, well, this is the game where Leicester can prove they're back where they belong. They've still got Jamie Vardy firing up front. They've got a decent side. I've watched Leicester this season and I'm like, this isn't a bad team. They obviously lost Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, who signed for Chelsea. But Chelsea have got to be careful here. And there's a few things I want to discuss before we build my Chelsea starting 11. But I think Chelsea need to go into this game with the confidence, but we have to win it. This is the kind of match where dropping points could start us looking at the fixtures that are good fixtures. Then we might start to panic. We don't want to be in a position where we're not the top of the rest. Right now, we're top of the table, not the actual Premier League table, but we're top of the chasing pack. Liverpool are beyond top, City still above us, but all of those teams that are so close together, look at the Premier League table up on the screen now. We're top of this lot right now. So that is where I want to see us stay. First things first though, we've got to talk about team news. And there is one big piece of news. Jadon Sancho's back in the squad. That's two pieces of news. REECE James is injured again. It's a hamstring injury. And first things first, right? A lot of people now, whenever REECE James gets injured, they're like, sell him, useless, the man's a twig, he's made out of flipping, I don't know what. The fact of the matter is, we're talking here about a footballer who's got all of the ability in the world. He's our club captain, he's a European champion with us, been at Chelsea his whole life. If your first response to seeing REECE James injured is, oh, the man's an idiot, get rid of him, he can't stay fit, shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. It's perfectly feasible to look at REECE James and the injury situation and be like, well, maybe Chelsea should sell him. Maybe now we just cannot rely on him. That is the brutal nature of sport. But to not feel for the man, to not actually wish him all the best, for REECE, this must be horrible. To know that when you're fit, you are such an unbelievable player, but you just cannot stop getting these injuries. It must be so hard for the man. It must be so difficult to know that every time now you get an injury, you don't have people wishing you well. You don't really have people saying get well soon because people are frustrated. And I can see why people would be frustrated about this, but overall, like Reece is a player who has had some awful luck. Maybe there is a physical problem that has just been, he had the surgery, and since that surgery, we're now seeing an injury again. The man cannot stay fit for more than 4 or 5 games in a row. So in terms of what Chelsea do about this, I wouldn't be surprised from a business side now if we're like, look, just can't rely on you. So Chelsea try and sell him. There's not ever going to be a world where I get my head around the idea of selling Reece James. I think if ever there was like a regret in football, if Reece manages to stay fit anywhere else in the world, it doesn't matter if it's Real Madrid or it doesn't matter where, like if Reece does stay fit, he's the best right back in the world. When Reece James is fit, I think he's the best right back in world football. And apparently it's not a major issue. I don't know what I believe when it comes to understanding Reece's injuries now. I don't know what to believe, but he's not available, he's not fit, and I wish him here on GBFC all the best for his recovery. But we do have a game to win, and as much as we might not have our captain, we have still got a plethora of footballers to choose from. And we begin with the goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez. Look, I spoke about it in yesterday's video. I said Chelsea need to solve this situation. Sanchez either just gets a lot better, stops giving away penalties, stops making mistakes, stops giving the ball away, or Chelsea drop points. Simple as that. At the end of the day, this team is more than good enough to get in the top 4 at the end of this season. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee right now. But Robert Sanchez is the keeper. We're going to move on from it. The back 4 that I think will take Chelsea to victory at the King Power Stadium is Malo Gusto right back, Wesley Fofana, Levi Colwill, and Marc Cucurella as a left back. With Reece injured, it pretty much alleviates any potential question marks that we might have about how are we going to line up with the back. I think as much as Malo Gusto going forward has been a problem, I said at the beginning of this international break, I was like, we need to see Reece in the side now. I think Gusto going forward, missing that header against Arsenal multiple times now. We've seen him get into shooting positions. It's not been good enough. I'm hoping for Malo that as much as obviously we don't want to like talk too positively about an injury, this is Malo Gusto's time now. This season, I don't think he's been as good as we'd like him to be. I also take some of that pressure off when I criticise him because he's being asked to do a crazy role. There is serious fitness that is required to do and play the way that Malo Gusto's been playing. But this is it now, mate. Reece is injured again. You're Chelsea's #1 right back. You're getting the starts. Yes, you've got a lot to do, but you've got to do it now. In the final third, if you're going to be advancing into that right-sided 8 role, almost borderline a number 10 at times, just get better. Get shooting every day in training, and the goal will come. Maybe when the goal comes for Gusto, the output quality increases exponentially. I don't know. With some players, it's like that. And it's about the nerves of, oh, I need to get my first goal. Or look at the positions I keep getting in. And then he's like, the lights just shine in his face and then nothing happens. We need that to change. Early kickoff tomorrow too. So it's not about the bright lights, Malo. It's about the sunshine, hopefully, in Leicester. Although I don't expect that's the case in the UK. Right now, we move forward into a midfield. And I'm delighted to say that Enzo Fernandez makes my Chelsea starting 11 in the Premier League. Caicedo and Enzo would be my midfield for this game. Yes, there is obviously going to be some tweaks potentially because of internationals and long flights and all of that stuff. But for me, Leicester aren't a good enough side for me to be able to warrant playing 2 defence-minded midfielders. I think Chelsea will have enough with Caicedo in front of that back line. Gusto is obviously more than capable of inverting and doing that defensive role. Cucurella also, if we decide to change it, can also invert and step up as well. So for me, we bring the creativity in that Enzo Fernandez brings. 4 assists in his last 67 minutes of football for Chelsea. That is fantastic. We're seeing Enzo, the cogs starting to move now. And I think when you've got a player that is £100 million, that you know has got a lot of talent, but the big question marks are, how does he fit in the Premier League? How does he fit into this Chelsea team? You go away from home against Leicester and you give him the free rein to control that midfield. I believe he's got it in him. Yes, we've been overran in the midfield this season at times when it has been Enzo, Caicedo. Lavia has done a great job. But I think in order to keep this squad happy, which isn't the overall goal, the goal is just to win football matches and keep going up the league. But I absolutely think this is the game. If ever you're going to have a match, this is it. Enzo Fernandez at the King Power. Watch him deliver. He's scoring. All right. This is an early prediction before we finish the team. Enzo Fernandez scores against Leicester this weekend. Moving into the front four. Pedro Neto right wing. Cole Palmer number 10. Jadon Sancho, he's fit, he's back, he's available, with Nicholas Jackson up front. What you've got here with this forward four, you've got Jackson, who you know is going to give you that all-round striking performance. Cole Palmer, need a lot more from him. I think he's gone missing in the last couple of games. I need to see Cole Palmer show up, and he will in this one, I'm telling you now. Neto has been absolutely amazing. Pedro Neto is very quickly becoming one of my favourite players in this team. If you weren't aware already, it's obviously Cole Palmer. But, like, you've got to like everybody, you know? And I've liked what I've seen from Sancho before he was injured and sick. And I've loved what I've seen from Neto recently. I think with this as well, you've got that ability that Neto has to pick a pass, pick a cross. And if Leicester are going to sit back and try and soak up that Chelsea pressure and play with that low block, then you've got Jadon Sancho there as well, who can make those little touches, interplays with Jackson, Palmer. I think this is a really strong, dynamic front four. I think in terms of the big question marks right now, people are saying Nkunku, Felix. This, for me, is the strongest front four that we've got. I think Noni, as much as he's had a decent international break with England, I don't see him staying in the team. I think Sancho was doing enough before that sickness. Neto right now is undroppable. And Cole Palmer in the 10 is just like one of the most obvious things that anyone can ever flipping know in football. So, my score prediction here, I want to say a clean sheet, but I just don't think we will. I think Chelsea are going to win 3-1. I think Palmer, Jackson and Enzo Fernandez are the goal scorers. 3-1 Chelsea is my score prediction. As I said at the start of this video, if you want to get anything from the Chelsea Megastore, kits or accessories, whatever it may be, use the QR code here, click through, you go on the website and at checkout use the discount code GBFC10 for 10% off your order. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new. I'm going to be trying to do a live stream tomorrow. Obviously it's an early kickoff. I'm still in Thailand. We've extended our trip. If you aren't yet subscribed to the Couples Vlog channel, link is in the description. We posted a cool video yesterday going around eating crocodiles and flipping giant prawns and like just a load of fun basically. So check that out as well. There's a card on the screen or link in the description. I'm buzzing for this game. Chelsea are back. Let's keep ourselves in the top four. Come on, you Blues.